Okay guys, today's lesson we're starting unit 4, 4.1. This is variables. We're exploring variables. So variables, you probably had some experience with them in algebra, assigning a variable and the variable can change numbers. So it's going to be pretty similar for that. This might be a little bit longer video. I can only do 15 minutes on the Screencast-O-Matic that I'm recording. So I may have to break this up into 2 different videos, which may end up helping you guys in the long run anyways. The very first thing on the slide says navigate to lesson 1 on level 2 on Code Studio on code.org. You guys are going to play around with this and these 3 apps. So I'll do that with you guys real fast. So I gave you guys access to unit 4. Okay, you click right here and then you guys can go to number 2 on lesson 1. And basically you guys want to play around with it. So pause the video real fast and just play around with the number 2, 3, and 4 and just kind of play around with the video or the apps real fast. You'll hit run and you read the stuff. It says Pet Rock needs some love. You might need to click on them enough times. You just might evolve. So it might take you a little bit to figure out what all this means, but if I can get 20 clicks, now I can go 2 clicks at a time. So I'll buy this by clicking that. So it sets me back, but now when I click it, it adds up by 2. And now if I go up to, if I get up to 100 clicks, now I can buy this one for 20 clicks. And so it just goes a lot faster. Anyways, it just works to where if you click, you get to the so long and it makes your Pet Rock a little bit different. You guys can move on. These aren't really for a grade, but you guys can do the same thing. Click run, and you guys can make a little poem for this. Okay, you guys can mess around with that if you want, but basically it's holding the words that you want right here, and it's putting these words together. The last one, you're going to try to do these things, and then you're going to so I'll do this one with you. I'll do the first one, but Ray's house, that's camel case, and hot and cold is the password. Click login. You guys can click these and notice if I click them, it's having to hold the pattern. It's a variable basically. It's holding my variable and it's changing every time I click this button, every time I click this button. Okay, so let's go back to our worksheet and start answering some of the questions. You guys open this worksheet, go File, make a copy. Make sure you save that in your computer science folder. It says list some characteristics of numbers and strings. Well, numbers, no quotes. We'll put no quotes because they don't have any quotes around them. Can be used for math equations. We'll say math problems. Okay, and strings must have quotes. And strings are concrete, meaning they really can't change. Even if there's a number inside the quotes, it doesn't change. It's concrete. Or even if there's a phrase, that phrase is concrete. It's not going to change. Can I add a string with another string? Yes, and we're going to show you how to do that here in just a second. Basically, you're taking one concrete word and putting it next to another concrete word to make something else. So here we go. What happens when you add numbers? So if I go 6 plus 5, that will give me 11. Okay. We'll space over and say numbers can change. What happens when you add strings? Well, if I had a string and say first, and then it said plus, I'm going to add and put last, and then that would equal, this is the way it would be written, first, last. Okay, so they just add them together basically. That's what happens when you add strings together. Now, the only way I could add a line in between first and last is if I put first plus a string with a space plus last. Okay, so that's really the only way you can do that. What operations can I perform with numbers? All math equations. All math equations. And what operations can I perform with strings? Okay, so strings, I can add strings together to make a sentence, make a phrase or a sentence. Okay, we'll get some experience with this. So the very next part of this 1 through 12 is what's going to take so long. So I'm going to try to do at least 6 to 9 before I have to pause and do a different video. So here we go. I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to attach a couple things, but so basically, if you guys were gonna, if it wasn't a COVID year, we'd be doing this part right here, where I'd give you small stacks of red and yellow stickies, 3 plastic bags, pens, pencils, dry erase marker. However, it is COVID year, and so we're going to give you an attachment that shows you this manipulative right here. So it's going to show you, basically it's a looping video that shows you how to use this, and I'll show you too. It's really simple. Directions are on here. You can click it, hit Control-C to make a copy, drag it out here, and then you can just, this is going to be your baggie, your Ziploc bag. This is going to be your sticky notes. We're going to put our strings inside the red ones, and we're going to put numbers inside the yellow ones. Inside the plastic bag, you can click on the bottom left corner. There's a text box. You can name what this is. Okay, and you guys are going to be making a variable, and your variable is going to be anything in the bag. And you're going to learn that each variable can only hold one value. Okay, so anyways, you're going to click on this second one that I shared with you. And you may have to make a copy of it, I'm not sure. But and you don't even have to use this little manipulative bag if you don't want to. If you think you can understand it, you don't have to. But it may help you to see it and to have something to manipulate, to understand it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back on here. So if I were to add, it says for numbers, make sure they're all made of digits 0 to 9. They don't have quotes. They're in the yellow stickies. Strings made up of any characters. They're inside double quotes, and they're in the red stickies. Okay. Let's move on. Let's just say for operators, probably the plus sign, minus sign are the only operators we're going to use. So if you were to evaluate this expression, it'd be 2 plus 3 equals 5. Be easy. This is an expression. You guys need to know this. It's a combination of operators and values. It's basically a math equation almost. It evaluates to a single value. Okay, so I can use operators and values 2 and 3 to evaluate to one single value, number 5. Okay, if I evaluated this expression, it would give me 4. Okay, and I hope you all know how to do that. So here we go. We're going to get to the part on your worksheet. It says 3 plus 4 evaluates to 7. You guys can kind of do this with me. 5 minus 2 evaluates to 3. 11 times 2 evaluates to 22. And these are all numbers because they're yellow. 10 divided by 2, 5. Now here we go for strings. Okay, 4, the string 4, because it has quotation marks, it's in red, plus ever, there's no space in between, evaluates to forever in one string. GR, okay, this string plus a number evaluates to one big string of GR8. Okay, so great. In quotation marks, and then 2, the number 2 plus the string day makes this big string 2day. Okay, so this on your worksheet is where you have to start. 4 plus 5, it gives you the answers here, but I want you guys to try to do them your best. You guys can I want you to write out the equation. We're going to go, no, not this sheet. I'm not working on this sheet. We'll go right here. 4 plus 5 equals 9. Okay. 10 minus 9. We'll do that on our sheets. 10 minus 9 equals 1. Okay, these are pretty simple. 11, no, here we go. Tree plus house, we'll do that one together. So make sure you've got your quotes. Tree, close my quotes, plus, open quote, house, plus, or no, close quote, equals, big one, tree house. Okay, pretty simple. So tree plus house equals tree house, and I guess let me type it exactly how it should be. It's a lowercase t, and in coding everything is so it needs to be exactly how it was. So lowercase t to lowercase t. Here we go. The next one, let's see, and I'm almost running out of time. Get next to that out now. We got u plus r. Okay, they're two strings. U string plus string r equals a string with your. Okay, and it's like the word I was looking for is literal, and this is a lowercase, so I need to do it lowercase. It's very literal. Okay, so if it's a lowercase u here, it needs to be or lowercase y here, it needs to be lowercase y here. So you guys are probably getting the hint. U plus r is your. We'll use the baggy thing here in just a second. So, and then number 5, 3 plus d. 3 plus string d. I think this one is capital. Is 3d. And that is in a string. Okay. Alright. So once we get that, let's move on to the next one. And we've only got 6 through 12 left, so let's see if we can do a couple more. It says for my variables, we're going to start working on creating variables now. So a variable is going to be a plastic baggie. It can hold only one value at a time. Okay, so we're going to pretend that our value is our sticky note, our plastic bag is our actual variable, and the name of it is whatever we put right here in the name. So name uses no quotes, it includes no spaces, and it must start with a letter. So we're going to get some practice with that. This would be a variable whoop, and it has a string hi. This is a variable zip2, and it doesn't have any value in it so far. So here we go. Replace variable name with a copy of the value it holds. So we're looking for number 6. So basically, if zip is my variable here and it has a value of 5, basically what happens is this expression goes 3 plus zip. Well, what is my variable zip representing? It's representing 5. So 3 plus 5 evaluates to 8. Okay. Bop is another variable, and in the string it's got in the value it's got a string of hi. Bop plus zip. So hi is bop, hi my string, plus zip, which is 5. Hi plus 5 evaluates to hi 5. Okay. If it gave me a variable hi and then it told me to put something else in there, hi would leave, and I would write in whatever the new thing is in there. Okay, let's do 6, 7, and 8 real fast. The variable's boo with a value of 4. 3 times boo is 3 times 4. That evaluates to 12. So 3 times boo is 12. 7. Rar is B plus eep means beep. We'll write these out. Rar plus eep equals beep. We'll come back on the next video and do number 8.